Borderline personality disorder, a disorder of your personality. I was talking with my mother the other day. She said that she was so happy that she could talk to me now. That almost made me cry. That made me really emotional. For so many years, she did not feel like she could talk to me. It was so bad that if she wanted to know how I was doing in life, her way of figuring it out, she would go and check the jails to see if I was in jail or check the hospitals. If I wasn't in jail and I wasn't in the hospital, she figured I was doing all right. It was like that for many years. Occasionally, I would call her up, hitting her up for money. I would always believe that she had no clue that all I was doing was calling her for money. Months would go by. I would run out of drugs. Usually, I was needing to borrow money for drugs. I'd call her up, spend a good 2 to 3 minutes talking before I dropped the question on her. Most of the time, she would give me the money I asked for. I'm fairly sure she knew exactly what I was using the money for. Then again, it was the only time that I would call her, the only time she could know what was going on in my life. When she wouldn't give me the money, I would be incredibly angry, and then it would be longer before I would call. I cannot imagine what that must have been like for her. I blamed her for a lot of things, and I was angry at her for a lot of things. That's why some of the reason our communication had broken down so much. It was a bad situation. I know from my point of view, I was just angry and I hated her for a long time for lots of different things. From her point of view, she was confused, didn't understand what was going on with me, didn't know how to help me. She didn't want to enable me, though. That was one thing that she didn't want to do. I think a lot of that comes from my father. She was codependent with my father. She put up with my father beating her, using her. She enabled my father for many years. She had learned in a woman's crisis center not to be an enabler, not to put up with it, that she deserved better than that. When I got to a certain age and I started showing the same signs of my father, being mentally abusive, almost physically abusive. I never hit my mother or anything, but there were a couple times when I cocked back, looked like I might. She didn't want to enable that behavior. When she found out I was using drugs in her house, she felt like she had no choice other than to kick me out. She believed it was the best thing she could do was to not enable me. Our point of view on that decision differs, and she was doing what she thought was best. Had she known about my borderline back then, we could have addressed that. She had no idea, neither did I. So I can't blame her for her decision now. She didn't have all the information. She was doing what she thought was best for herself, be the best thing for me. I, on the other hand, just felt like she had abandoned me and given up on me. Once I found out I had borderline and actually knew what it was, explained to her what was going on. That was a beginning to mending the relationship. We started talking on a regular basis at that point. Most of the time, she wouldn't call me. She didn't want to interrupt me, and she never knew what to expect if she were to call me. Whenever I called, it was all about me. Me, 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 me. I just wanted to call to get some praise for something good I had done, or to gripe about something in life. Then there was still the borrowing money from time to time, usually on a weekly basis. And it was not always just to borrow money, it was to let her know how my week had gone. I really did not give her any time to say anything, though. We would just talk about me, and then I would quickly get off the phone. The more I learned about borderline, the more that I told her about it so that she could get a better understanding of it. She also did research on her own. I was still using drugs and my behavior was still quite erratic. The biggest thing that went to improve our relationship is when I finally admitted to the drug use, went to Best Care. In Best Care, I would call her daily. Not much to do in drug rehab. Every new skill that I learned, I would teach her. She's gotten to grow along with me. Everything I learned about myself, I would share with her so she could learn that about myself as well. How to better deal with me and handle me and understand the crazy moods that I was in and how my feelings could just... She's not here. The store. That is one angry little girl. Since Best Care, I'm on a journey of enlightenment. I want to learn everything about me. I want to communicate with everybody better. I want to be able to live a semi-normal life, whatever normal may be. I do not believe that the borderline is 100% at fault, nor do I believe that the norms are 100% at fault. I do believe that we are usually 50-50 in most situations, and a lot of situations come from misunderstanding and lack of knowledge. We have to teach them how we look at life. On the other hand, they have to kind of show us how they see it. To do that, they have to be comfortable enough to talk to us. If they are scared to tell us something or to point something out because we're going to freak out on them, then we cannot ever understand what it's like from their point of view. And a lot of them are scared of us. They're very unbalanced. It doesn't take much, at least for me, it's come from my point of view. It doesn't take much for me to go from 0 to 100 and just freak out on you. Using a lot of tools and trying to understand their point of view, I've learned to hold back and not explode. And when I'm getting to a point of exploding, I'll let them know that we have to stop talking. This is not leading anywhere good. Come back to it later. I had banned my mom from watching my borderline videos because I told her, you will not like what you find. If you watch them, you're not going to like it. Like I said, my videos bash norms. I wasn't even trying to relate with them. Since Best Care, she knows that she can watch any of my videos, not worry about it. There's nothing that's going to be on there that's going to hurt or offend her. My videos are now made for borderlines and norms alike. I do believe it's all about knowledge and understanding. If we can know more and we can see it from the other person's point of view more, then we can coexist. I believe that. I believe that to be true. It is working in my life so far. I heard my mom tell me that she was so happy she could talk to me again. Really got to me. For so many years, she was afraid to say anything to me. She didn't know what she would get. Now our relationship still has a long ways to go. It's not perfect yet. There's still a lot of years of damage that we're making up for. The point now that my mom doesn't feel uncomfortable calling me, she will call me. She doesn't feel uncomfortable joking around with me. I actually listen to what's going on in her life. Not as much as I should. I still am a little bit self-centered, and it's mostly me, 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 me. Give her as much time to talk about the things going on in her life as I should. But I'm trying. I'm working on it. Then again, she still has a hard time talking about herself because of how it was always just me, me, me. So she's learning to be able to talk to me too. I mean, she's still a little bit nervous, I can tell. With more time, with more understanding, I do believe we'll get there. She's told me that my videos that I do have helped her immensely to understand the whole borderline thing. I hope they're helping other norms out there as well. A lot of comments I get are from norms actually, telling me that I have helped them to understand their borderline partners and loved ones. It means the world to me. It really does. That is my purpose after all, is to help the borderline and the norm. I would like to know if all of you give, when you're interacting with people, when you get into arguments, do you take the time to sit back and look at it from their point of view, or do you just see your point of view? Let me know in the comments section below. If you've not yet subscribed to this awesome, wonderful channel, now would be that perfect opportunity. The subscribe button's right there on the screen. All you got to do is click it. We're going for 500, 1,000, 5,000 subscribers. Then we're taking over the world. Yes, we're taking over the world, one subscriber at a time. Please join us. Become one of us. Join us. We're not a cult. Not much. Not yet. Working on it. If for some odd reason you would like to support this channel financially, you can do that through Patreon. There's a link in the description below. You also get exclusive bonus videos. Yep, the stuff that I don't think is good enough for YouTube, so check it out. Description is down there, link thing. Until next time, keep on keeping on.